Preston was really impressive tonight. We came into this really wanting a ton of ground balls, and that's what he gave us. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the fly ball hit the line drive to center field to CT was the only fly ball we gave up in this ball game, I think, which is pretty interesting. We had Brenton in, kind of a Sam Frost type situation for us from a year ago, to where we knew we were going to get a ton of right-handed ground balls to that side, and Britton did a nice job for us at third, and Pirtle, had kind of a highlight reel day defensively as well. So we did what we needed to do. It was kind of the identity of our club. We defended it, we pitched it pretty well, and got enough runs. New phase of the season coming up this weekend against a really good Georgia club that, gosh, looks like they scored a bunch of touchdowns today, and they're on fire. I think that was their 9th in a row or 10th in a row, whatever it is. So I think our kids are excited about this opportunity to go play a very good Georgia club and get our conference season rolling.
In your career, John, have you kind of seen defensive plays kind of one after another, the momentum kind of builds? Matthew Britton's doing well, and Seth Heck makes the play, then Pirtle makes the play he does. Do you see that?
Well, I tell you what's important, Matt, to me, is when you have the confidence that the guy on the mound is going to get you a ground ball, and he's going to have early action, and you're on the balls, you're ready to make a play because you know the ball's coming your way. And I think those two things just kind of work in unison, what's happening on the mound and your defenders on the infield. So he's fun to play behind if you're an infielder, because you're going to get action and you're going to get some big hop ground balls, which is the kind that every infielder loves to come and get, and they're easier plays. And you get opportunities to convert double plays, and we converted one of those tonight. So yeah, really pleased with that part of our game.
How big was that? Just after 3 tough ball games in the desert, you got a good performance out of Jonathan Holder, and then you got a good performance out of Preston. How huge is that for the team confidence, just to get that going before you face, like you said, a hot team in Georgia? Yeah, and I'll throw Lindgren into that mix too, because Lindgren was incredible. I thought it may be the best outing he's ever had in his entire career. He threw the 2+ there, and he struck out 6. And, he wasn't available tonight. Holder wasn't available tonight, so we're saying, hey, Miles, this is going to be yours late in the ball game. They get a very right-handed club. He really excels in that area. So, yeah, we've had 4 different guys have a save this year so far. So I think we've kind of shared the wealth in that area, and certainly we'd love Holder to be that guy. But we really needed him to come into a game earlier in Arizona to help us get a W.
After holding CT out, he seems to come right back and pick right where he left off at.
Yeah, CT's been swinging it really well, and when he's hitting line drives off breaking balls that are down, he had all those triples in Arizona, of course, and yeah, he's done a really good job, and I just wanted to make sure he was healthy, because he's a different kind of player when he's not at 100%. So. I think we need everybody at 100% now, because everything matters. All the non-conference games matter, but things get amped up a little bit when you get into conference play, for sure. And our kids are excited about it. And you need your older kids like C.T. Bradford to step forward when you play in the best conference in America.
You like the element that DeMarcus gives you, like tonight and then for the rest of the year. I mean, he kind of manufactured that third run for us on the base pass.
He did. He puts pressure on you. He's become a much better base stealer over the last 4 years. He's 8 for 8, something like that. He's he's good. And, we got to get Armstrong back out there, because he can do that for you also. And we've done a little bit of matchup stuff with those 2 guys. And we're really fortunate. We have a lot of outfield depth right now, and getting all those guys involved is a little bit more difficult. But running is something we wanted to do more of, and we have some personnel that can do that for us.
The results have been the same, but what's the maturation process for Preston Brown been like from start 1 to now?
Oh, it's incredible. I think he came to us really as a little bit more of a flatter fastball guy. We knew that his arm worked really good, but in working with Butch, I think he's really developed a nice 2-seamer that has great sink, and that's obvious with the amount of ground balls. You get 17 ground ball outs tonight. I don't know if that's he and Miles combined, but certainly he gets a ton of ground balls, and that's really important to us, because that's what we want. That's how we roll. That's how we defend field.
Any reason why Reed and Daniel are in the lineup, or are you just wanting to build consistency with those older guys?
Yeah, it's tough. Detsy's a senior, and even though he's been struggling statistically, he puts together pretty good at-bats. He's got to take the ball out of the air. I want all those guys to play. Yeah, if I could hit 12, I'd do it, because I of course I want Reed in there. Of course, I want Garner in there. Garner, we brought him in off the bench on Sunday and just hit a rocket right at the left fielder in a key moment in the game versus Arizona. He'd been sitting there really for 3 days waiting for that opportunity. He came through. You know, Reed's been good. You know, trying to get all those outfielders involved. It's tough, but I think investing in them bit by bit is really going to pay dividends in the future.
Is that going to be really tough cutting that roster down now for the SEC play? And you got so many quality guys, like you mentioned, the outfield and those younger guys.
Absolutely. We'll sit down and we'll talk about that, and we'll try and narrow that number down. That's very difficult for us.
Playing all these 4-game weekend series, you got to play 3 now. Have you kind of settled in on a weekend rotation that you want to start out with?
You know, we'll sit down and talk about that. We had some guys throwing some bullpens today, and I think there was a lot riding on that, really, because you know, we need to evaluate the guys who can challenge the strike zone and do all the little things it's going to take to win in our league. And you know, Kendall Graveman wasn't a guy who threw the ball 95 miles an hour, but boy, he could feel his position. He could control a running game almost by himself. He could do all these leadership type things, and we're searching for that a little bit right now. And that's why it's great to see somebody like Preston come out and do things like Kendall Graveman could do for us. So yeah, we don't know what we're going to do Friday and Saturday yet, but certainly you know, we're going to talk about that.
Is it that wide open that even a Preston Brown could maybe, you know, find his way into the weekend?
We'd have to see how he recover. One of the things about Preston that helps a little bit is the fact that we don't have a midweek next week. So, you know, can Preston bounce back and come back Sunday? Don't know. We're going to have to see how that line drive off his knee was, but certainly,
is that wide open?
He would be a candidate for sure. You know, we feel really good about sending Fitzy out there for sure on Saturday, but we feel like there's some competition with the Friday situation. So we'll look at that tomorrow and make a decision.